Hello students, so in my previous video we started with the strings in Python class 7 CBSE. Today we'll try to complete the chapter, but before that let's try to revise what we did till now in strings in Python. Okay, so if you remember, or I would suggest you just go and have a look at my previous video. So what was string? String is basically a set of characters actually. That is string. It can have a special character, it can have alphabets, it can have digits, anything, right? And we can enclose it in single, double or triple quotes, the string. Triple quotes we generally use when we have a very long string that span over multiple lines. Clear? Now see here, like this is a single character string in single quotes, right? Here Delhi, that's a multi-character string within double quotes. Then we have a line, it's a big line which spans over different lines, right? So it's a big string spanning over different lines, so we have enclosed it in triple quotes. Okay, so that's a string. And if you remember, each string, I said there is an index associated with each character of the string. So if you have a string called hello world, so the first character or the first letter will have index of 0. Then as you move forward, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till the end. And the length of the string will be last index plus 1. So that is 1, and even a space is being counted as one of the character. Okay, now if I want from this hello world string, if I want to extract R, okay, this is at index 8. So how will I write? I'll write the variable name and the index number. I'll specify 8. So it will fetch that character, right? See here, H, see R, I'll go see R. So S is my variable name where hello world is stored, see. So if I write S8, 8 is the index for R, then it will return me R. Clear? Then we saw we can have negative indexes also, just an alternative we generally don't use, right? Then we saw different string operations. First was a concatenation where you combine two strings, right? So you have first string S is equal to Python, second string P is equal to program. So I want to combine these two strings, so I'll write I want Python program. So it will be just simple a plus sign. If you write a plus sign, it combines to two strings. So concatenation is joining of two strings. Then we have repetition where the same string you want to display 3, 4, 5 times, right? So for that we use a star mark, right? Just a multiplication, right? So S is my string and I want to repeat it 3 times. I'll write S into 3. For 5 times I'll write S into 5. Clear? Now membership, which is very simple membership, where we want to know whether a particular character exists in your string or not. Like apple is one string for me. I want to know whether P exists in this string or not. So for that I use in or not in. In and not in are the two operators for membership. So if I write P in apple, it will return me true. Means yes, it is there. If I write X in ship, X is not a character in ship string, right? So it will return false. Similarly for not in means it should not exist. Then it will return true, else it will return false. Clear? Then the last was the slicing. If you remember, slicing means from a string I want to extract a part of the string. Like it's a hello world, okay? So I want to extract just world from hello. So that is called slicing, when you want to extract a part of a string. And now how do we do this? Okay, now how do we slice? So we write the string name, what is the name of the variable in which we are storing our string, and then we pass these 3 parameters. Okay, if you remember, start means the starting index from where you want to extract, stop means the index where you want to stop, and the step means in the step of what. So if you remember all this example, like here 3:7 means 3 is my start index, 7 is the stop index. Remember, it will always go -1 of the stop index. So it will go from 3 to 6 in the step of 1, since the third parameter not given, which is a step, so by default it will take 1. So here in this, if you see, it will start at third index. Third index is 0, 1, 2, 3, which is G, and it will go till 6th index, which is M in the stepper 1, so it will output me gram. Okay, similarly here, see, the first is blank, the start index is not given, so it will take default as 0. This is your stop index, and step not given means default 1. Here the start index is given, stop index is not given, that means by default it will take the length of the string, which is 11 in case of this programming, right? Total 11 characters are there. And again your step is not given, so it will take 1. Now here nothing is given, none of the parameters are passed, so it will take all defaults. So your start will be 0, see, stop will be 11, which is the length, and your step will be 1. Here all the 3 index is given, so 0, 6 in the step of 2, so it will, first it will take the 0 index, then it will omit the first index, it will take the second index, then the third leaving the third, it will take the 4th index, right? It will go till 5th index, right? 1 minus. Here only the step is given, so start and stop they will take as 0 and 11, and in the step of 3, so it will omit 2 characters in the middle. Clear? Now let's start forward with examples and try to understand. Okay, now let's try and understand some of the built-in functions and string methods that we have in Python. Like in Python, for string operations, now we have certain built-in functions that Python has already given us. Okay, so we can directly use them. Okay, so what is it? We'll see in Python also how it's working. So first is the len. Okay, this is used to find the length of a string. Okay, now let's see, here I have a string name, right? I want to find the length of this string, correct? So let's see how we can do that. Okay, now see, as I said, name is one of the string for me. Now I want to print the length of this. So similarly, very simple, I'll write print len name. Okay, or maybe I can store the length in one of the variable. Okay, like b is equal to len of name. Okay, and then I can print b and see how it works. Okay, let's see how it works. Save, run. See, it gave me 90. Correct? Clear? Okay, now the second function is the title. Here if you want, I can show more length function. Like suppose you want to find the length of this t variable flying. Okay, so maybe suppose I store in b, instead of name I am storing t, which is my variable name. Now if I print b, what will come? 1 2 3 4 5 6 is the length, right? Let me save and see, does it return 6? It returned 6. Clear? Length function, very important function. In many programs we use this, right? So now let's come to the second built-in function, which is title. Title, it returns the string with the first character of each word as capital. So see here the example given, hello world. Here if the first character H and W is in small letters, right? But if I write A is equal to title, that means it will return the first character in capital. Clear? Now let's try to understand here. If I write B is equal to maybe C, I am taking another variable, C is equal to suppose this one only I'll write, name is equal to title. Okay, and then I print C. Okay, now let me just comment this print out. I don't want this, right? Now see here, this N, this I is in small, these two are already in capital, it will come as it is, but for these two words the first character is in lowercase. So let's see if it prints in uppercase. Let me say run. See, did you see n, if you compare this to, see, n was in small, here n is in capital. I was small, I turned them in capital. So clear? So what does len function gives? It gives the length of the string. And this title, see, there is a difference in syntax of writing. Len, we wrote len and then in bracket the string variable name. But title, we write first the string variable dot, then the title. Okay? Clear? This two. So length gives you the length of the string. Title, if I write string dot title, it will return all words of a string with first character as uppercase. Clear? Now let's move to this lower. This is very simple. Lower means it will return all characters in lower case. It's like here, see, there was mix of lower and upper cases, right? The characters, but it will return all in lower. Here also the syntax is same as title, a dot lower we write. Okay, now let's see, we write here. Similarly, I'll take B, C, D, maybe D is equal to name dot lower. Okay, and then I'll print D. Okay, so here everything should come in lowercase form. Here I want. Save, run. See, everything turned up in lowercase, right? Similarly, we have upper, just the reverse of this, it will return everything in uppercase, right? So here, let me just copy this only, Control C, Control V, home. I'll take a variable as E maybe, and I'll write upper here. Now if I print E, you'll see everything will come in uppercase. See, clear? All in uppercase. Clear? See here, and student, just one thing to note, I'm taking everything in variable, but instead of variable, you can directly write here, instead of E, I can directly write this also here. It will return the same result. Okay? No change. See? Run. See, it still returns the same. Okay, either you can save it in a variable or and then print, or you can directly use the function in the print statement also. Clear? It's your choice. I'll keep it both for you all so that you all understand. Okay, we can use any format that we want. Okay, now let me just see. Okay, now what is the other function? Other is the count, where count is like if you want to count a particular character in your string. Okay, like this is hello world. I want to count how many times O has come in this string. So then I use this count function. Now here see, if I write the string name dot count, the same syntax as all title, lower, upper, count O. See here 2 times O has come. So it will return 2. If I count X, see here we don't have any X, so it will return 0, right? So let's try to write a program here. Simple. I take a variable F. F is equal to, I'll write name dot count, name dot count. Suppose what letter you want to count, in single quotes you have to give. Suppose I want to count how many times A has come in my string. Okay, I'll print F here. Okay, now save. Now tell me how many times A has come in this string. 1 is this, 2 and this 3 times, right? Now let's run and see what it comes. See, 3 times. Clear? Right? Instead of printing F, you can write in a better way, like you all have seen, like number of times A has come in the string is, right? We can write it like this also. See, number of times A has come in the string is 3. Clear? Okay, now let's move on to the other one. Now we have replace. This is also a very important function we mostly use in the programs when you want to replace a particular string, a part of the string from your main string. Like here hello world is one string I have, I want to replace hello with hi. So here anywhere hello is there, it will be replaced with hi. Like in word also we use no replace function for a word, right? The same thing we are using here. Okay, now let's try to do here. I want to replace name dot replace I want to replace is, see the syntax, you have to first write the word, the character you or the word or the part of the string that you want to replace within single quotes, then a comma, and with what you want to replace. Suppose R I want to replace with. Okay, clear? Now let's see, let me print G. Now see, what should it come? My name R Priyanka, right? Something like this. Right, now let's run and see. See, my name R Priyanka. Did you get it? Got it now, right? Now suppose I want to just replace one character. You can do that also. Like here, wherever A is there, I want to replace A with R. So wherever I have that particular character, it will all be replaced with R. Now see, everywhere where A was there, it got replaced with R. Okay? Clear? I hope it's clear, right? So replace function, right? Then we have is upper, is lower function. Now what does this two function is upper will return true if the string is not empty and it has all uppercase letters. Okay, and is lower, it will, if the string is not empty and it has all lowercase, it will return true. Very simple. Like here, Abhi, if I write print name is upper, what do you think it will return to me? True or false? Of course false, right? I don't have all the characters in uppercase here, right? Though my string is not empty, but I don't have everything in uppercase, right? So if I run here, save and run, see, it will return false for me. Say false. So even is lower, they will return me false because all the characters are not in lowercase, right? So for this also it will return me false. So it will return me false. But now suppose I make this M as small and this P also as small. So now all are small in, right? Save. Now if I run, see, it will return me true. Did you see? Clear? Same thing with upper also. If I make all uppercase, it will return upper. Now instead of name, suppose I just make this T, this flying, okay? See, all in not uppercase, right? Right now if I run, it will return me false, correct? False. But now suppose I make, but here, see, all is in uppercase. If I write S dot is upper, see, it will return me true because all in uppercase. True. Clear? So all this built-in function, I suppose it's clear. Length, to find the length. This is the syntax. For length, the syntax is little different. We don't write a dot length. We write length, and then in bracket we write the string variable name. Okay. Then title, it returns. So this is a syntax which is common for all now. If you see, a dot title, a dot lower, a dot upper, a dot count, a dot replace, right? So title, it returns a string with the first character as uppercase. Lower, it will return the string all in lowercase, upper all in uppercase. Count, if you want to count a particular string, a particular character in your string, how many times it's coming, then it's count. Replace, when you want to replace a character or a part of the string with a new one, we use this replace function. And then we have is upper is lower, so it returns true or false based on if all the letters are in uppercase, if all or all the letters are in lowercase. Clear? Very simple, all this built-in function. Any doubt, anything, please do comment. I'll try and answer. Okay, now let's try to solve this quickly. Okay, now here the first one, x7 colon. This is slicing, right? So the start index they have given us 7, end index is not given, means it should be till the end, and the step is not given, means step will be 1. So we'll start from 7th index. Which is the 7th index? This is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it starts from C till the end it will go. So it will display city in this one, right? Now the second one, we have a plus, means you are concatenating, you are joining the strings, right? So x4, what is x4? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is T. T is your x4. Then T, x6 is your I, and x2 is your E. So TIE, TIE, tie will be printed here. Clear? Is it clear? We are just concatenating. So here your T, 4th index is your T, 6th index you have I, and in the 2nd index we have 0, 1, 2, E. So tie will be displayed here. Clear? Now here see is a star, means you have to repeat. So x into 3, x is your electricity complete. So electricity, electricity, electricity. 3 times this will be printed. Here y is equal to x 6 to 8, means I have to take from 6th to 7, 6, 7. 8 means 1 less, right? If you remember. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 and 7, means IC. I'll take IC. And x2 is what? E. IC, and I'll concatenate. Plus is there. So IC and E will come here. So this print. So here in Y you will have ICE, and print Y 2 times, means ICE, ICE 2 times. Did you get this? I mean, I'll do it in Python for you so that you understand it better. Now let's try to do this. Print x dot count I, means in x I have to count how many times I is coming, right? So you'll just count how many times. It's 2 times, correct? Now print x lower, so everything will come in lower case, right? Now let's quickly try to do this in Python and understand. Okay, so let me comment, or let me just, okay, let me take x is equal to electricity. Okay, the same word I have taken. Now here y is equal to x 6 to 8 plus x index 2, correct? Then they are printing y into 2. So what output did I, let me just comment this print statement. Yeah, what did I tell you will come here? 6E is IC. IC is your 6 and 7, and E, ICE, ICE twice will be printed, right? Let me say run and see. See, ICE, ICE twice. Did you understand, students? 6 to 7 first they are fetching. 6 to 7. So here this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So see, I is your 6 index, and in 7th index you have C. So this complete things gives you IC. Now what is x2? Means in 2nd index you have E, 0, 1, 2. So IC concatenates with E, so it gives me ICE total. So Y becomes ICE, ICE, right? Now I am repeating Y 2 times, so it will be ICE, 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 ICE. Clear? No doubt? Great. Okay, now I hope this built-in functions was clear. Now let's move forward. Now we come to this traversing a string. Now, how do we traverse each character of the string one by one? Like, see, if I want to fetch I can easily do this right here. I know the index. What is the index of I? 2, right? 0, 1, 2. So if I want to fetch I can do x, and in bracket I can write x, and then in third bracket I can write 2, right? But suppose I want to traverse one by one starting from the first till the end. Okay, so how do I do that? I can do this using a for or a while loop. Okay. Let's try to understand a for loop here. Now see, in this example, this is my string in a variable x. I want to traverse this, so I'll write for I in x and semicolon, which if you remember for loop, semicolon is important. So for I in x, so it will traverse from, and then print I. So it will start. So when I write this for loop, so in the first run I will have value of R, the first character. In the second run it will have the value of A. Third run it will have the value of I, and then N, and then it will print rain like this. Let me just show here. I have written this for you. So for I in T, print I. So this is my T. Okay, let me just comment out this for time being. Okay, now let me just save. So see, flying, it has printed for me. So I in T means it will start moving from first character till the end and keep on printing in each run. So in the first run it will print F, second run it will print L, and till Z it will print. Okay, so this is one way you can traverse a string. There is another way of traversing the string is using the range function. If you remember, with for loop we have this range function, right? What does this range function do? It tells us for how long. It generates a sequence of numbers for us, right? Correct. So if I write range, I can write it this way. For I in range length of T, what the length of this string? Okay, the length of the string is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be for I in range 6, means for I in range 6 means it will start from index 0 till 5 it will go, right? So first my value will be 0, I ka, then the second my value of I will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Students, if you don't remember the range function, please go back and check. So if I write range 5, range 6, this means it will generate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means this for loop will go in loop for starting from 0 till 5. Okay. So here the first I value of I will be 0, right? So print x 0. So 0 is my index, x my variable, right? I put x, but I'll put t here. Sorry, my string name is t, right? So print T I. So it will print the first character. Now it will again go up. Now I become 1. So it will print T1. T1 is your L. Then it will again go up. Now my I is 2. It will print T2, which is Y, and so on. It will go till T5, printing G for U. Clear? Now let's save and run and see how it works. See. why it's printing? Acha, it's printing twice because for this also it printed, correct? Yes, let me just comment out this one. Now let's run. See, flying. Okay, so there are two ways we can traverse a string. Okay, I would suggest this is a better way because here you can extract any character, right? Right now, suppose I am traversing one by one, right? But I don't want to extract all the character. I want F, then I want Y, then I want N in a step of 2, right? I want to omit one character. So how do I do this? If you remember here, in range we can provide 3 parameters. So my starting will be 0, my end will be length, and in the step of 2 I want. So if I write range like this, what does this mean? Range 0, start is 0, length T is my 6, and comma in step of 2. So what does mean? It starts from 0, it goes till 5, 1 minus in the step of 2. So it will be first 0, then it will be 2, right? Then it will be 4, and then 6, but 6 it will not take. So 0 to 4, 0, 2 and 4, this 3 values will be generated here, right? So here my first will be printed as F, then index 2 which is Y, and then it will be N. Now let's see how it prints here. Sorry, let's run. See, did you see? F, Y, N. Now you got the difference between these two for loop in traversing a string. Here you have to traverse each and every letter of the string. But if you use the range function, you have the flexibility to traverse the string the way you want. Okay, here there is no, you don't have an option to skip anything, right? But here you have an option because we are using the range function. Clear? I hope this traversing a string is clear now. Any doubt, please comment. I'll let you know. Okay. Now let us consider this example. See here, S is progress. For I in range, see the same example I gave you right now. So range is 0, length S is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 from 0, 8 in step of 2. 0, 8 in step of 2. So range is 0, 8 in step of 2. So what all it will generate? 0, 2, 4, then 6, and then it will be 8, but it will go till 7. So it will be 0, 2, 4 and 6. So what will be printed here? Tell me. First the 0 index, which is your P, then your second index, which is your O, then your fourth index, which is your R, then your sixth index, which is your S. So it will print P, O, R, S in this. Clear? Is it clear? Good. Now we have understood this various string operations in Python now. Now let's try to write and understand few simple programs. Okay, let's go with your book first. So here the first program is you have to display a star after every character of a string. Okay, so like if see, I'm taking an input from the user here. So whatever be the input, I'm storing it in S. Now I'm traversing this S one by one, and after that each I will put a star. Okay, now let's see here. Now see here, I have a string I already defined here, but you can take an input also from the user. Okay, so for I in T, print I, when I do this, you have seen how it comes. It will come as flying like this. Okay, I want a star after every character. So you will say, ma'am, we can place a star here, right? Now let's save and see after every character. See, the star is coming after every character, but I want it in a single line, the way it is coming here. Okay, So for that in Python we use this function end, so it will not go to a separate line. Okay, so if I write end is equal to a star, it will not go to a separate line. In the same line it will put a star. So yeah, this is simple, right? Now let's go to another, the second example. What is this? To display the character. Okay, now the second program is like I want to display the characters of a string in a reverse order. Now here that means suppose I have this line, a string, I want to display it as GNIYLF in a reverse order I want to. So instead of traversing from 0 till the length, I want to traverse from length till 0 in the backward flow, right? I just want to traverse in the backward flow. So what do you think, students, how can I do this? So I have to use a range function here, and range, my starting will be what? The length minus 1, right? So my starting will be length of t minus 1, that is my starting. End will be 0. I want to go till here, right? So if you write 0, you remember, if you remember, I told you it will go 1 less than this, it will go till 1 only, so f will not come. So for that I'll write, so instead of 0 I'll write minus 1, so that it goes till 0, and then comma in the step of minus 1 again, right? Backward 1 by 1, right? Then print I, right? So let me just remove this for timing. So here, student, did you understand this? This is like I have to traverse backwards. So from the end. So what is the index of this G? It is the total length, which is your 6, right? So the index of G is 5. So it will be 6 minus 1, right? So that's why I wrote here length of T minus 1. So that's my starting point, correct? I want to go till index 0. So I cannot write here 0. You remember, if I write 0, it will go till 1. Minus 1 it goes till, right? So if I write minus 1, it will go till 0. And why? And the step of minus 1. Why? Because I have to traverse from 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, like in a backward, right? So it will be in a step of minus 1. Now let's try to print, save, and print how it is coming. See, 5, 4, 3. Oh, sorry, I'm printing I, right? I don't have to print I. It will be T in bracket I. See, just printed the number. Did you see that? So I, first I will be 5. It starts from 5, right? Then 4, then 3, 2, 1, and 0. It's good I printed this so that you understand how I is traversing from 5 till 0, right? Now I have to print the, so this is the index, I is the index. From the string I want to print the character, so I have to put this T, right? Now let's save and run and see. See, it gave me G, N, I, Y, L, F, like this in a reverse order, right? But I want it in a line, so how do I do that for a line? Just now we use an n function, so here n is equal to, I'll just give blank, nothing, just blank, so it will print in a single line. Now let me just save and run. Yeah, see, did you see? In a reverse order I got this, and in the same line. So for that we have to use end. Clear? Is there any doubt, students? Please let me know. This is very important. You will need all this in your, when you have to write programs. So how I have put this range function, I hope it's clear now, right? Now let's move on further. Okay, now the third program, see, we have to count the number of times a character occurs in a string. Very simple, you know, we use a count function, right? So here what they are doing, they are inputting a string from the user, then they are also inputting a character that they want to be counted in this string, right? Then how we are counting? Print, this is just print statement, count of ch is the character that we are counting, so we are using this function as s dot in this string s, I have to count ch, right? So the function will be s dot count ch. It will give me that much, right? This is a simple program, I'm not writing, right? Okay, this is approach 1 they are given. Through loop also we can find out, but I would suggest right now you don't go into this, but yeah, you can find out how they are finding. Again, they are inputting these two things, the main string and the character that they want to be counted. So here they have put count is equal to, initially they are taking 0 count. Okay, now for loop they have started from I till, and they are traversing one by one each character of this string, right? So first time that, now suppose my character I entered is flying here, suppose, okay, and I want to search maybe I, okay, like how many times I is coming. So first I in S, so first I will be F, correct? So it will match if, and CH is my I, right? So here it will match if F is equal to I. It is not, so the count still remains 0. Now it will go up again. Now I will be my L. It will again check L with I. CH is my I. I'm searching for I, right? I'm counting for I. So here my L is still not matching with I. Count still remains 0. Again it goes up. Now I becomes Y. Now is Y is equal to I? No, still not. Again it goes up. Now I becomes this I, right? Now here my I matches with CH. CH was my I, right? So my count increases to 0 plus 1. Count becomes 1 here, right? Now it will again go up. Now I is N. It will again match N with I, no. Then G, right? Now suppose here at the end I had I another. Again at the end I will be fetched. Now this I is again equal to I, which is CH is your I. So count will be my 2 here. So this way we can do it using this approach also. You can either use this function approach, the built-in function, or we can do it through our looping also. Clear? Now let's move on to the fourth program. To display the count of uppercase alphabets in the string. Now let's try to write this program and see. Okay. Now here, see, I again took an input from the string from the user. Okay, in S, I made count as 0. Now here we are using the function is upper. So here for I in S means, suppose S I have entered, let's go with this flying only, okay. Now here, maybe this is also capital, suppose N. Okay. So maybe just think user has entered this string. Okay. Now here for I in S means what? It will start traversing one by one, right? The first I will be F. So here it is checking if F is upper. If F, that character is upper. If it is yes, I am counting it as 1 plus 1. So it becomes 0 plus 1, 1 here. It will go up again. Now I becomes Y. What? I is now L, which is lowercase. So is L uppercase? No. So the count still remains 1. It will go up here again. Now I is your Y, right? This is again lowercase. So again when this check fails, it will not come to this line. So count still remains 1. It will again go up. Now I is your small I, correct? Now here this is again false. This is small letter, so the count still remains 1 and it will go up. Now I comes to as N. Now here it is a capital letter. So here when they check this, this is I is a upper, means is N, capital N is upper letters. Yes, it is. So here now count becomes my 1 plus 1, 2 now. Again it will go up. It will go up to the last character, which is G. This is lowercase again. My count still remains 2. Now since it has traversed all the letters of the string, it will come out of this loop and it will print here the total count. Clear? Student, is it clear? Any doubt? Very simple, right? Now program 5 to display vowels in uppercase and consonants in lowercase. Okay. So for that, what we have to do? We have to check whether it is a vowel. So here see, they have inputted a string from the user. Okay. For I, again we are traversing each character of that string for I in S. See, whenever we are not using range function here or here. Why? Because we have to traverse each character. So when you have to traverse each character, you can do it directly only, you don't have to use range function, right? Now for I in S, now they are checking if I means the first character is either any of this. These are all the vowels in lowercase or uppercase. If it is any one of this, they are printing it in uppercase because they are saying display vowels in uppercase. So they are just converting it to uppercase and printing, and we are using this so that it comes in a single line, right? Else means if the character is not any of this, that means it's a consonant and we are printing this in lower. That's it, finish. Now see here they have given, see, education was entered, suppose, right? Okay, this complete string was entered. Education is the key to success. Now here in I, the first character will be capital E, right? Now that it satisfies this condition, right? So here it will turn it into uppercase. So E was already upper, so it will be printed as E, right? Now the second will be D. Now D is your what? D will not satisfy this, right? So it will come to else. So it will print D in lowercase. Then your U is here, right? Now U will satisfy this condition, clear? So here your print will be in uppercase. So here they will print this U in uppercase, see? Clear? So this one by one they will traverse each letters of this complete string. And finally, based on this condition, if it's vowel, they will print in uppercase. If it's not vowel, it will print in lowercase. Clear? So with this, we complete our chapter. Any doubts, anything that you would like to ask, please comment. I'll try and answer this. And in the meantime, let's try to solve one question here. Okay. So students, let's try to solve a couple of questions from your book. Okay. Now let's see this first example. Okay. See here, the string they have given as welcome. Now they want you to what will be the output of this statement. Now see here we have a print statement. So it will be a print, correct? Then we have S:7. What does this mean? See, if they would have written S just 7, let me just show you. If, like, suppose, let me see, the string is welcome, okay? If they would have written just print S7, what does this mean? What this would have print? The character at 7th index, right? Which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have, so it will not print anything. See? Nothing, right? Error it will give because it's not, we don't have a 7th index here, correct? Suppose I had one more character, then it would have printed G. See, correct? Now, but here it is not just 7, it is :7. What does this mean? In range, it behaves same as your range function. Here the starting is your 0, end will be your 7th. 7 means it is always -1. So from starting till 6th position, it will extract everything. Okay. So here if I run this, see what will happen. See, complete from 0 position till the 6th position, it will extract everything. Now here if you see, here it is, then a plus. If you remember, what does plus stands for? Concatenation, when you want to join two strings, right? And then they have written @user. Correct? So what will happen? Tell me. Here, this returned welcome. It will concatenate with this. So it will be welcome @user. This one. Clear? I hope I am clear. Let me save, run for you. See, it is welcome @user. Clear? Now let's move on to the second. Second is simple. st21. The string is 21. Print st into 5 means repetition, right? 5 times. So st will be printed 5 times, but not st will be printed. Its value will be printed. So your value is 21. So this is your answer, which is this one, which is being printed 5 times. Clear? Now the third example, here x is given as this. Welcome to the world of programming. This is very simple, students. You answer me. You have to print x dot title. Remember the title function. What does it does? What does it do? It will return the string with the first letter of each word will be capitalized in title, right? So here, this is the correct answer. See here, each letter of the word, the first letter of the word is being capitalized. So your correct answer is your C. Now come to the fourth one. In fourth one, see, string they have given as, this is your string value, right? Now they want you to print str1 to 4. 1 to 4 means, just think about the range. So it's starting from the first position, first 1 index, it goes to the 3 index, 1 minus, remember always. So from here, this is 0 index, right? Then this is 1, correct? Then 2. So starting from 1, it will go till 3. So 1, 2, 3. So YTH. So this statement will give you YTH. So that means either this or this, A or B, right? Now let's see the second one. Second one, see, the start is blank, nothing given. So default it will take 0. So from 0 till 4 it will go, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So till here. So that means out of these two options, this is wrong, right? So it will be this one. Correct? Now the last one also you can see str4. So it starts from 4 and goes till the length, the complete end of the string, right? So 4 is your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is O and then N. So it will print O and N. So the correct answer is this one. Clear? This behaves same as your range function, this parameters, okay? Now consider the string ozone layer. This is my one string, okay? You have to write certain statements in Python for the following. To display the length of the string. This is very simple. I'll not tell you all. You all know what to be done, right? Do you all know that? Let us do here. Hash. Okay. So let us take string is equal to ozone layer. Clear? They want us to print the length of the string. So length, you know, which is a command we use, print, and then len, and inside bracket you will specify the variable name of the string. Now let's run and see, does it gives us the length of the string? It gave the length of the string, correct? Now the second question is to display the last character of this string. So how will you display the last character? Tell me. You have to display this R. Just think little. How can you display? What is the index of this last character? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the index of this last character is 10, right? But so it will be str 10, right? Correct? Ideally it should be this, but we shouldn't write a value, right? We should try to find out the last character. So what will be the last character? It will be the complete length minus 1. What will be the index of the last character? The length of the string minus 1. So can I write here print? So what will be the index of my last character? It will be length of the string minus 1. Sorry, minus 1. This will be the index of the last string. Is it clear or not, right? Now I want to print the character at this string. So it will be string. How do we print a character at any index? str, that index we mentioned, correct? So here this is my index. So how will I write? It will be str in third bracket this entire thing. So this is my index number, length minus 1, and I am fetching it this way. Clear? And then I have to print this. So it will be print in within bracket. Sorry. So let us see. Does it? See, it gave me 11. 11 is for this print statement, length. And then it gave me R, which is the last character. See, it gave me because of this print statement. Can you understand? Mani, did you understand, students? If not, please let me know. See here, how did it work? Just think. See, as I said, the index of this last character will be what? Length minus 1, correct? Now my length, I can fetch it this way, length of the string, this is the syntax to write the length, right? Now I want minus 1, so it will be length of the string minus 1. This be the index. So this entire thing I have put up in the third bracket, correct? And so this is my index number, and to fetch this, I just have to write the string variable name within the third bracket. I write the index number, and then I'm printing that. Clear? Now, the third is to display the last 5 characters. Now you have to display the last 5 characters. Last 5 characters. Just think, how do you go? So last 5 characters means it will be length minus 6, correct? Last 5 characters will be starting from length minus 6. Yes or no? Length is 11. So 11 minus 6 will be of 5. So last 5 characters will be starting from 5th position, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the 6th index, right? Last 5 characters. So it will be for I in. So we have to start from length minus 5. Correct? From that position we have to go till the length minus 1 index, correct? So for I range, for I in range, so what will be my starting position? Starting position will be length of the string minus 5. Clear? Comma, give this in bracket. It's always, yeah, so this is my one value. That is a starting point, which will be length of the string, which is your 11, minus 5, which is 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it starts from here. It goes till the length minus 1, correct? Length of the string minus 1. It goes till here, till the last character. And in the step of 1, you don't have to mention this. If you want, you can mention, or we can omit this also, right? Sorry, colon is important, right? Then print. What I have to print? str, and index is getting stored in I. So it will be stri. Now let's see, does it work? See, it gave me layout. Oh, sorry, length, it won't be length minus 1 because the end character always be till minus 1. So it will be till length of your string. Sorry, yeah. Till length of your string. Correct? So file, save, run again. So see now, layer. Clear? Now these are coming in different lines. If you want in the same line, if you remember, I showed you previously, we have to use n. N is equal to this. Correct? Now let's say run. See, it came in the same line. Okay? Clear? Just see the code. See the code once. Okay? So I hope it's clear now. Now let's move on. See, students, try to understand all this very nicely. These are very simple, but if you understand, then it's simple. If you don't understand, it becomes very tough. Even in future, when you write programming, if you are, this logics are clear, it will be very easier for you to write. Okay. Now let's move on then. To display the string in lowercase. This is very simple. I'm not telling you already have a built-in function. Remember? So how do we write? Just print str dot lower. That's it. Finish. Nothing else. We are using a built-in function. See, everything turned up in lowercase. Clear? Now, to repeat the string 3 times, that you have that into sign, right? So you just have to write str into 3. Clear? Let me just show you. This all I shouldn't show. These are very simple. You should write on your own. But anyways, just for the first time I'm showing. So see, 3 times this will turn up. Ocean layer, ocean layer, ocean layer. Okay. Last number 6. To display a count of the number of times the alphabet E appears in the string. Again, this is simple. You just need to use a count function, right? So it will be your str dot count. What you have to count? You have to count E, right? So that's it. Save, run. So see, 2. So E appears twice in this entire thing. Correct? Clear all this? Now let's try to understand. Find the error in the following code. In this code, what error do you think is here? Just pause for a minute and try to figure out. Very simple. See, what is the error? See here, this definition is incorrect. It should be, how did I write lower? If you see here, how did I write lower? So here what is missing? This bracket is missing. After upper, you need to give us starting and a closing bracket. Then it behaves as a function. Clear? Now in this, what is wrong? Again, pause and try to answer and then listen to my answer. You have to think, you have to see very carefully. See what is wrong here. See, len, it has given, see, t is equal to rainbow. This statement is correct. No problem. Now this for I in range, this, the syntax for loop is correct only, right? Now the problem is here. It has written length t, right? T is your this is also correct. But in length function, do we use this third bracket? This third bracket do we use, or we do use the first bracket? We use the first bracket. See, if you see, everywhere in length I have used this first bracket, correct? So this bracket is incorrect here. Now in this print statement, what is incorrect? Tell me. First, this semicolon shouldn't be here. There should be a comma. And second, see, we are printing ith index, right, for S string, right? Is it or not, right? So here your this bracket is wrong first of all, because for index we have to use third bracket. For index, see, any index that I am using a third bracket. See, always third bracket is being used for index. So this bracket is incorrect. Clear? Now let's try to see this. Quickly, we have to give the output of the following. See, X is your some string. Okay, Mississippi. Now Y is equal to X dot count I. Means I have to count how many times I appears in this string, right? How many times are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 times, correct? Now for I in range y means 4 because y value has been stored here, which is the count. So here it will be for I in range 4. Range 4 means it will go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Correct? So print x. See, it is saying print x. X is what? X is your this string. So this entire for loop will run 4 times. Correct? Because this range is 4, so it will go start from 0, 1, 2, 3. Correct? So 4 times it will run, and every time it is printing the string only x. So Mississippi will be printed 4 times. Is it clear? Do you want me? I can write it here, but I don't want to. It's very simple. You can also just try it out and see here. It will see here they have not given any index or anything, just the string. So the entire string will be printed 4 times. Clear? Now the second one, string. This is your string they have defined. Now for I in str means, 1 character, it will go on and on, right? It will, so first I will be capital P, right? If I is upper, yes, P is upper, correct, then it will print star, and this end is given means in the same line it will come. So first time your print will be, in first iteration it will be star because it will come here. It is upper, P is capital, right? Now second again it will go, now I becomes y, small y, correct? So this condition will not satisfy, it will come to the else part. Here we will print dollar. So here now dollar will be printed. Now again it will go up, now this T will come, correct? Now this will satisfy because it is upper. So now again we will print a star. Now we will get small h, it is, then dollar will be printed, then for small o dollar will be printed again, then at the end for capital N again we will have a star printed. So this will be output of this program. Clear? I hope it's clear now, right? Now we will write 1 or 2 programs for you people so that you all are very thorough and understand Python properly. Okay, let's try to write this 4 programs. Okay. Okay, students, let's try to write a program for the first one. So, what is the program? Write a program to display alternate characters of a string. So if your string is this, the alternate character means you have to do a step of 2, right? So C, then you have to leave O, you have to print M, then leave P. So see, you have to traverse this, but in step of 2, right? You have to leave 1. So this is very simple. You can use a for loop. I have written a program for you. Just see this. I took a, let me just write. So see, just see here. So I took a string. Now I have to traverse this string from starting from the 0th position till the length, and in the step of 2 because I have to take the alternate ones, right? So I have taken for I in range. Range will be my starting will be 0 till the length. If I take length, then it will go till -1, right? And then in the step of 2. And simply I'll just print D, and I will give my index, right? So D I. Students, just see the syntax for writing. Okay, it's third bracket we use. So D I, and I'm putting this end, you know, for what? So that it comes in the same line. It doesn't go in the other line, right? So let me just run, though other programs are there, but we'll see for this. So if you save, you run. So here the first thing, see, alphabet. Okay, clear this? This is very simple, right? alternate, so you have to just do a range in a step of. Now the second program is write a program to count the number of vowels in a string. Okay, so here in a string I have to traverse one by one, so I can easily take for I in the string. You can easily, so if my string is this E, I have taken, because we have to count, so you have to take a count variable, right? Okay, so since we are counting, so we have to take a count variable, so that I have taken count is 0. Now for I in E, so here I have not used range function. Remember, range function when we use when we have to traverse few character, but if I have to traverse all the characters one by one, I can use directly the string name. So for I in E, so first my I will be A, right? So I am checking here if I is in A, E, I, O, U, or in small and capital, both are given. It can be in any, right? So if I, so the first is A. If A is in this, yes, it's true. So my count will increase, right? Now it will again go up. Now I will be L, correct? Now is L in this? No, it is not. So my count will still remain the same. It will go up. Now it will be, I will be P. P lies here, no. Again, count remains the same. It goes up. Then H, again count will not increase. Now again A comes, then it lies here, it will come to this, count increase it goes up. This way it goes, and finally it prints the count for me. Clear? Now see the third one. Write a program to replace every lowercase character with a dollar. So in a string, if you have a lowercase, so you have to replace it with a string with a dollar sign. Okay, so here see I have taken F, which is a combination of lowercase uppercase. Okay, so I have to traverse again each character of the alphabet, so I am doing without the range function. So I am doing for I in F. Now first the F will be capital A, so I am checking if this is lower. If it is lower, then you print dollar, because it's saying every lowercase with a dollar, right? If it is not lower, then I will print I simply, right? The same character only I'll print. Clear? So that is what I am doing. So first here I will be capital A. So is A a lower? No, it's not. So it will not come to this line. It will go to the else part and it will print I. So it will print A as it is. Now again it will go up. Now I is my L, small l. Now here this condition satisfied, L is lower, right? So here it will print dollar instead of I. So it will, so first was my A, then a dollar will be coming. Else it will not go, right? Then again it will go, now it is capital P. Now again this is not satisfied, this is satisfied. So here it will print I. So it will print capital P here. This way it will go on till the end. When wherever it is getting a lowercase, it will print dollar. If it is not a lowercase, it will print the value, the character itself, right? Let's try to run and see. Yeah, see this one, just don't consider this. See this one. This was my string. So A, it is been printed as it is. Then a dollar, then P, since it was capital, it is printed as it is. Then a dollar, dollar, then B was capital, so it was printed. So all lowercase was been printed as dollar. Clear? And this end why we are giving, I hope now you all got it. We have used so many times. So this is when we want this to be displayed in a single line. If we don't put end, it will display in different lines, right? So clear? So I hope these three programs are clear to you. Clear? Good. Okay. Now let's try to write this last program. What it is, it's like write a program to take 3 strings from the user. So we have to input 3 strings. Form a new string by concatenating the first 2 characters of every string. So if we have inputted this 3 strings, apple, mango, orange, suppose. So we have to take the first 2 characters and we have to form a new word. Okay, first 2 characters from it. So this is very simple, students. If you all can just try and writing on your own, it will be very good. So you just have to take the first two characters and use a plus sign to join it, right? So I have written it for you. If you just see, let me just show. Okay, so see here, this is a three strings I have inputted from the user. Now here in the print statement, see what I am doing. I have to take the first two characters. So how can you take the string 1, and I have just used this from 0 till 1, right? 2 means minus 1, right? So 0 and 1, these two characters, they will extract here. Here again 2 characters, and then I'm joining all this using a plus sign. If I save it and run it and see, enter the first string. So suppose I enter hello, second good, nice. So you see the first two characters of each has been taken and printed. Clear? Simple program, not much tough, nothing, right? I hope these 4 programs are clear and your concept must be a little clear on strings, right? Try to solve all this. These are simple ones. Try and see how it can. This is also very simple. You all can do, students. I'm not doing this. Also just try this. You have to generate a palindrome. Palindrome means you have to just reverse the string. Okay, so once you reverse, you have to see whether it is matching or not. See here, very simply they have taken the reverse. So how can you take reversing a string? How can you reverse a string? So you have to start from the end, go. So this is wrong. I think you should start from the length of the string, go till 0, and then in the step of minus 1. If you remember in one of the example before, we did a reversing of a string, right? I don't remember, somewhere here we did, right? So that only you just have to use, okay, to reverse a string. Okay, yeah, see here we have used this program now to reverse. So we started from the length of the string minus 1 till minus 1, not 0, because it has to be minus 1. Then in the step of minus 1 you get the reverse. So you just store this reverse in something and then compare if this is equal to the string. If that is the equal, that means it is a palindrome for you. If you want, I can just write a quick program for you to show this palindrome number. Okay students, so let's see the program to generate a reverse of a string. Okay, I'll try to do it in a very simple way. Okay, so here okay, so see, this is a code I have written, very simple. If you understand, I'll just explain you. This I am just reversing. Okay, then we'll see for the palindrome. Palindrome, it's simple. If you get the reverse, then you just have to match. If the string is equal to reverse, if it's, then it's a palindrome. Okay, now suppose this is my string. Okay, reverse string I don't know, so I've just taken a blank here. Okay, now I have to reverse this string, correct, and store in this. So I have to traverse from last index till the first index, correct? So last index will be my what? Length minus 1, correct? So see, in range I have taken length of string minus 1. So that's my last index, correct? I have to go till 0. Okay, so if I cannot put here 0, because you know this end, the in range function, the end, they always take whatever value you write minus 1, right? So that's why I have taken minus 1, so that it goes till 0. And I will go in the step of minus 1, right? Because it has to start from here and go backwards, right? So now here for I in range this, so length of the string minus 1 will be my index 4, index 4, right? So 4, so first my I is 4. So here I am doing, I'm just concatenating each with this. Now see, here my I 4 will be O, right? So I'm just adding this O to this blank. Okay, now again I'm going up. Now my index becomes 3. So now it will str3 will be L. So this L will be added to this O because reverse has become O now. So it will be O L. Now it will go up again. Now index will be 2. So again L will be fetched. And now reverse was my OL. So another L will be added. So it will be OLL. Clear? Now again it goes up. Now index will be 1. Now this reverse string will be OLL and then E will be added. So it will be OLLE. And then at the last index 0, it will fetch H. So here it will be OLLEH. Did you get this, how I reverse? And then I'm finally printing the reverse. Nothing else I'm doing. I'm just printing the reverse. So see, I got my reverse here, right? Is it clear how I got my reverse? Now for palindrome, you just need to check if str equal to RVR. If this is true, print it is palindrome. And else print not a palindrome. Clear? Now let's run, see. See, this is not a palindrome, right? Because the reverse is not the same, correct? But now do you know a palindrome word? See, level is a palindrome. So let's try to run this code and put this as level. Let's see now, is this a palindrome? See, it is a palindrome. Clear? But the important thing is like understanding how I reversed a string. Students, these are very important things. Even in your upper higher classes 9, 10, you will require all this. So try to understand this very nicely. Okay? So with this, we complete our chapter. I hope I tried my best to make you understand. Still, if you have any problems, please comment. I'll try and answer. Thank you, students. Bye-bye.